it's Bacon Mainly. Today we're going to be playing some more Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now we are doing another storytime video. So I'll do a story time of my very racist adventure at Disneyland. Now so me and my dad and mom were like sitting in front. We were like standing in line at Disneyland or Disney World, or I forgot. And then I was like a very little kid then. I was like baby, and then we were in the stroller, and then I was in the stroller, and then there were these French people right in front of us. And then what they did is, you know how French people talk, like, if you're American and you only speak one language, then that means that you won't understand them, and it will sound extremely funny if you're like a toddler. So, there were these French people in front of us, this French family, and then they're like talking. They're talking about, like, I don't even know what they're talking about because I don't speak French. And then my dad just out of nowhere pulls I'm not saying that he's bad, but he pulls a funny racist act, and then he's like and then I'm like, and then I just start laughing, but I didn't know. I thought he was just like playing with me because people usually play with babies like that. But he told me this like a few weeks ago that he did that, and then I started laughing, and I'm like, why would you do that? That's racist. And then it was funny because I was like very little, and I still laughed at it. And basically being, oh god. So, I don't even know. I know a lot more stories, maybe. Here, I'll do my very first, like, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of, like, a first time of doing something, like first time playing on a playground when I was a kid. Well, I'm still a kid, but as a toddler, oh, I know the perfect one. This one is very embarrassing to me, but, so, here, I'll explain this one. So me and my dad, when I was little, we used to have this thing called like the stair race, which we race each other up the stairs. Okay, so this is two of them. This is an explanation story time, and then this a story time about when it actually was embarrassing. So we'd race each other up the stairs and then see who wins and stuff. It was fun, just fun doing that. Like, it's exercise too. Like, you go upstairs. So and we had stairs in our house in New Jersey before my mom and my dad were divorced. So what we did is me and my dad were like playing the race each other up the stairs game. And then what I was like, to this day I don't even know how this happened, but I climbed on top of his back. And I don't even know how he did it. I was like spider toddler, and then I don't even know how I did it, but I climbed on top of his back and gave myself a piggyback ride with him. And then I don't know. I can't even do that to this day. I don't know how I did that, but I climbed on top of him. So here's an embarrassing story that's like an explanation and story time, but this is an explanation. This is the embarrassing one. So after my mom and my dad got divorced, I went to my first school. I went to my first ever school experience, like actually going to a school, because I was homeschooled, and then and I was like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I was homeschooled and I thought bullies were everywhere. I didn't even know the explanation of a bully. Well, I did. I was just like super afraid of it, and so I was very scared of the first day of school. So at the first day of school, my teacher, we were going up the stairs for something. I think it was enrichment, which was like, it was like arts and crafts or something. And then we were going up the stairs for something, and what happened is I thought that everyone knew what like the stair race was. So then I just like ran up the stairs and I'm like, beat you at the stair race, Miss Lion. And she's like, Devin, go in the front of the line or the back, or go back to where you were, or go to the end of the line. So I'm like, so then I pulled like the hilarious act. I just went in the front of the line, and then I went to the person behind me, and I'm like, haha, I cut you. And I don't mean like I opened their skin. I mean that like it's when you go in front of someone in a line. So when you go in front of someone in a line at my school, it's like you cut them. That's what it's called. So when I did that, that was very embarrassing. And then there's another thing that me and my friends were like in first grade, and then again, Spider Kid, like we had like these shelves that you can put your feet in. They're ginormous, and then you can put your hands in them too. So what you could do is, what I did is I climbed on top of it, and I was in first grade again. I'm like, yeah, I climbed this, and then my friend told me to get down. I'm like, why? Why do I need to get down? So that's another story time. I'm gonna like think of all the stories I can tell about school. So I have another one. So me and my friend like going back of the basketball court, and then we just hang out there, and we put our feet forward, and then we put our back on the back of it. So then it will it's pretty fun to do. Sometimes I still do it. Usually I don't, because I hurt my leg by falling off of a rock wall. Oh, that's the one I'll do next. So then what we did is these girls, like, they were in back of there too. They stole our idea of doing it. And then what we did is what's that guy doing? And then what I did is I just like I did that, and then one of my legs fell and down, and then that means that my whole body will fall except for my other leg that was still there. And my leg was scraped all the way up to my thigh because I had shorts on. I hate myself for doing that. And then I'm like, to my best friend Luke, I tell him, Luke, go tell the aide. And the aide is like a playground teacher that helps you. And then they kind of mocked me because I was limping, and then the aide limped too. And that was a mean aide. Her name is, I don't want to mention her name, but she started limping too to make fun of me, like to mock me. But I actually needed to limp because I was like bleeding, and it was a ginormous scrape, probably bigger than her arm. And then I was limping, and then what I did is I limped all the way there. And then she's like, Devin, do you really need to limp? And then I'm like, yes. And then she's like, she just gave me a Band-Aid, like one of those ones that are in the shape of an X, and then it's like a very small piece of cotton in the middle of it. That's the Band-Aid that she gave the people in like the area that you go if you're sick, or it's called the health room. They just gave me a Band-Aid, and I'm like, oh my god, are you seriously like that? Are you seriously like not trained enough to do like something that will actually help me? Like, I thought you're supposed to know what to do. And then what he did is she told me to go back to recess. I'm like, excuse me, what do you think do you think I'm all better by that magical Band-Aid? No, that's not even a magical Band-Aid. I mean, like, if it was magical, then it'd, like, heal my skin, but no, it didn't. It was just a regular Band-Aid. So, I was very mad, and then my mom, I forgot if she sent me to school the next day, but I had to wrap my leg, like, with gauze pads, and it was still bleeding a little bit when I got back home, and it started, here's when I got cut. It was at 12:30, it was at 12:30, then when I came home, it's at 3:30. That is 3 hours and it's still bleeding. How is that possible? Like, is that even possible without dying? And I had to put a paper towel on there for my Band-Aid because they only gave me one Band-Aid, that's it. So that's one of my story times, and my next one is when I fell off of the rock wall and I hurt myself. Now this one is I don't even know. It might be the last story time in this story time video, but so we are going to, so me and my dad were climbing at like another playground park that's not next to my school, it's in my school district. So we were climbing on this playground, and then my dad was like up this area that had a slide, and I was down on another area that had a rock wall. And then what I did is I didn't notice how high I was, because I was laughing, and I'm like, oh, I'll just jump off, because there's this guy that went to the playground with no kids or at all, just like his maybe a daughter. It was a very, like, the person that he went with was like probably in college, and he was just playing on the swings, and he looked like a really tough guy, like Machete, you know, the Mexican Hollywood guy, like the Mexican famous guy. Well, he looked like that, and he looked really tough, and his daughter looked really tough too. And then, but they were actually nice. They were nice to me. So my dad's like, haha, he went here without kids, and then I'm like, shut up, and then I just jumped off of the rock wall, not knowing how high on the rock wall I was, and then I fell, and then I heard a snap, and the snap was like like that, and then I'm like, sorry guys, so then I'm like, oh my god, what happened? Did I break it? No, and then I actually tore a ligament in my ankle. I mean, not my ankle, yeah, my ankle. I tore a ligament in there, and then what I did is when I tore that, I'm like, oh my god, what happened? Then my dad's like, you need me to come down there? I'm like, yes I do. And then, like, again, I'm not saying that he's a bad parent. So what he did is he came down, he like went down the slide, because that's the fastest way that he can get down to help me. And then he gave me a piggyback ride all the way to the car, which was very nice. And then the girl, she didn't know how hurt I was, I guess, so then she's like, oh, she's like, you're strong, if that happened to me, I would be crying. And, I'll tell you how, like, so I, like, jumped off, I, like, boosted myself up, and then I just let myself land, and that's about to where my dad's jean pocket is, and he's tall. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but he's tall. That's the easiest way to explain him. And so then he's like, he brought me to my mom. I forgot what he did, and it was swollen, and then the emergency room just like took me in straight away. And what they did is they're like, you tore ligaments in it, and I'm like, well, aren't you going to do something? So they gave me the splint that I use now, and the splint's actually helping really good. And they also gave me a wrap to wrap around it, so then it will help structure it back, I guess. I don't even know what to say, but it structures it back, and then it will help my leg that got hurt. Oh god, someone's shooting at me. It will help my leg that got hurt to be back to normal again. But I'm using a wheelchair. I'm not permanently hurt, guys, but I need to use a wheelchair. I did use an e-scooter, but then the school told me, don't use an e-scooter, you're not using it the right way. I'm like, this is the way that helps. And I would have already probably been done healing if they wanted to taken away my knee scooter. Because it was actually fun. And then they're like, you're in danger when you use it. And then I'm like, now knowing I'm actually more in danger with the wheelchair because there's a slanted area around the track, which is the only way that I can get to is a track. So that there's a slanted area. With the knee scooter, I got it past just fine, but with the wheelchair, it's like, oh my god, I can't even make it up. That's how bad it is with the wheelchair. So yeah, that's my story time for this time. So subscribe to so I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe to Become Piece of Bacon, and as always, and smash the like button. And as always, if you liked it, then smash the like button. And if you didn't like it, then still smash the like button. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.